Spirit of perfect harmony. We are the Center for Spiritual Living, West Georgia. We study and practice the philosophy and science of the mind we know as God. And with our spiritual presence here this morning and our participation in our service, we create a higher state of consciousness, rise above any negative energy that we may have experienced this past week, and manifest love for the future week. Our master teacher, Reverend Dr. Sandra Jackson, outstanding of all reverends, will now take over.
Mike. I love that. She's got it. Wow. So we have to have one mic. Good morning, everybody. The outstanding of all revs is here. Oh, wow. Great day. All right, so you probably wondering why we're all smiling, because Friday, I think it was, we had storms almost all day long, one right after another. And yesterday it was sunny, and today we got sunshine. Yes. So if you want to get your car washed, if you're in Georgia, go this week. Because we're going to have sun all week. Yes.
Wednesday it rains.
Yes. Okay. I went and got my car washed yesterday because I looked on the thing and it says 10 days of sunshine. So I was like, yes, now's the time to do it, right? Okay. We're beginning with play, right? Because this is the month of play. Our topic this month is living everyday wonder, play. So let's do some more playing by turning within and playing with God. And what joy it is to be here today, to be present, to be alive. What a joy it is to be able to laugh and enjoy life, to be thankful for every moment that we are alive, to feel the presence, the power, and the very life of God within us with every breath that we take. What a joy it is to just be here now, to be in the moment, to be open, available, and ready for whatever it is that the Spirit brings to us this day and every day. We are open, we are available, and we are totally and completely allowing ourselves to be in that consciousness that allows for the very highest, greatest, and best to come about in our lives, each one of us individually and collectively. And so each one of us is outstanding in our own world, in our own life, because we are expressions of the living God that moves in us, through us, and as us, guiding and directing us throughout each and every moment of every day. So we accept this day as we come together collectively to create this morning service, to create the consciousness that brings forth the very highest and greatest and best in each one of our lives. And so it is. So it is. Let us say our vision and mission statement. If you stand, please. CSL West Georgia is a joyful global community where everyone belongs. Through our unique spiritual teachings, we provide a safe environment to experience compassionate living. The Declaration of Principles: I believe the kingdom of heaven is within us, and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. And so
okay, remain standing.
Yes.
I saw you.
I want to sit down.
Love myself so much. I love myself so much, but I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, that you could start loving me. I love myself so much.
Good morning, everyone. As we relax and relate to the mind of the author, today's reading is entitled, Use the Power of Reflection. Reflection is one of the most underused yet powerful tools for success. It is a passive way to pinpoint solutions and strategies with the least amount of effort or wasted energy. It is the opposite of trying too hard, of forcing an answer. Reflection is more a matter of allowing an answer to unfold right before your eyes, often with little or no effort on your part. One of the benefits of reflection is that it enables us to get our egos out of the way. In a quiet state of mind, we are able to see things clearly, including our own contributions to problems, new ways of doing things, and the ways we get in our own way. Reflection allows us to sense our self-imposed limitations and some of the blind spots in our thinking. Reflection is simply a matter of getting out of your own way. It's about quieting down your mind so that answers can arise within the quietness. Often, when we're looking for answers, we turn up the volume of our thinking. This might be called active problem solving. We think, and then we think some more. We get personally involved in the process. We take the credit for finding solutions and the blame when we cannot. For the most part, when we are actively thinking, we're thinking about that which we already know, that with which we are familiar. We try to solve a problem at the same level of understanding that initially created it, and often we go around in circles. People who regularly use reflection, on the other hand, understand that we are connected to and a part of a deeper intelligence. This quiet source of wisdom is available to all of us in unlimited doses because it is always present. The only factor preventing us from hearing or being connected to this wisdom is the noise or chatter of our own thinking. When we turn the volume of our thinking down, we can begin to sense this deeper intelligence. This is reflection. I recently was engaged in an interpersonal conflict with someone I was working with. In my mind, I was blaming him for virtually all of our problems. The more I thought about it, the more convinced I was that the problem was him. It got so bad that I considered breaking up the partnership, which to that point had been very successful. My wife, Chris, suggested I stop thinking about it entirely and postpone making any decisions. She suggested that instead I take a drive and spend some time in quiet reflection. I took her advice, and as I quieted down, it became clear to me that a great deal of our problems were actually coming from me. I could see how I was contributing to our poor communication and unrealistic expectations. You may be shocked at how easily most problems can be solved when you simply step out of the way by quieting down. You may also be pleasantly surprised at the ease with which new and creative ideas will flow into your life. Although your mind will be quiet, it won't be turned off. Instead, you will be using a new part of your mind, a softer, wiser part that understands the path of least resistance and the source of new answers. Success is often a function of doing something exceptionally well or creatively different than it has been done before. Reflection is a powerful vehicle to bring this about. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you, Deborah.
Good job. Good job. All right.
Well, we have a treat this morning. My good friend, my oldest friend, actually. She's very old, but I didn't mean that. I'm pretty old. I didn't mean it like that. This month is Playing with God, so we have a stand-up comedian here. And if you don't believe me, check with her after the service. But not now.
Just hang around with me for a week or two. In the Old Testament, it teaches us that when Moses went up on the mountain, he asked the burning bush, "Who are you?" And the bush replied, "I am that I am." So the great I am, the name of God, I am. So I've been taught in recent years to never follow the I am with a negative remark.
Right.
So never to say, I am tired, I am sick, to say rather, I feel tired, I feel sick, because we're literally invoking the name of the great I am in a negative fashion. This song is one that I wrote, and I think it has a kind of a positive message, because I'm a person that's always been searching. I've been looking and searching and questing, and that brought me to New Thought almost 40 years ago. And I've been very privileged to have had several really good mentors, and Cynthia being one, and now here, I love it. And so I'm very happy to be back involved, because I kind of fell off the wagon and I was gone for a while. But now I'm back.
Glad to see you back on the wagon.
I'm back in more ways than one, honey, believe me.
I believe you. Okay.
So this is a song I wrote called I Am Light. Who am I, and why am I here? I'm searching for answers that sometimes aren't clear. If I'm a drop in the ocean, a breath on the wind, why do I sometimes feel separate, like I just don't fit in? When in my heart I should know I am light, I am love, I am spirit expressed on the wings of a dove. I am hope, I am peace, I am life everlasting, I am joy without cease, I am light, I am love, I am. Who are we, and why are we here? If we'll just look inside, we'll see the answers are clear. Like sand in the desert, like stars in the sky, from beginning to end, we are one, you and I, and in our hearts we all know. We are light, we are love, we are spirit expressed on the wings of a dove. We are hope, we are peace, we are joy everlasting, we are love without cease. You are light, you are love, you are spirit expressed on the wings of a dove. You are hope, you are peace, you are life everlasting, you are joy without cease. I am light, I am love,
am spirit expressed on the wings of a dove. I am hope, I am peace, I am life everlasting, I am joy without cease, I am light, I am love, we are light, we are love, you are light, you are love, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was awesome. Wasn't it just, that is a, that and and our reading go together. Because where do we know so completely that I am when we are taking time to withdraw from the world and just be with ourselves and the spirit within? Yes. Thanks, Sherry. Okay, so good morning, everybody. Let's move some stuff around here. So today's topic, when I saw it, I'll rest when I'm dead. I was like, excuse me? But we heard people say that, right? We may have said it ourselves, okay? And we live in this Western culture that says, go, 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 go. Don't stop, don't rest, you don't have time. You got to get it done. Get it done today. We have our list, right? Check stuff off. And sometimes we lose that list or we lose the calendar and we're like, now what do I do next? And we don't stop to just be still. Someone called it a culture, a hustle culture. Okay, it's like, yes, hustle here and hustle there. And we're busy on the freeway. Today I was, well, I come here every Sunday, right? And it's like since the pandemic, it's shorter. It's like 10 minutes shorter. I don't know why, it's the traffic is better, but I'm loving it because it only takes me about 45 minutes to get here. But every single time, it doesn't matter what lane I'm in, somebody is on my tail trying to push me out of the way. And it's like, you have 4 lanes here. Why do you have to be on my tail? Okay. It's like, and I mean, I just can't stand it when I cannot see your headlights, you are too close. I don't care whether you're on a city street or on the freeway, you are too close if I cannot see. And that goes for you too. If you can't see other people's headlights, they are too close to you. And what are they doing? They're bullying you to move out of the way because they've got to get somewhere. And what happens if you're on a city street? What happens? You meet them at the light. It's like, you hustled, I moved out of the way, and here you are, we're all stopped and we're ready to go again. Okay, we got to get to that next light or wherever we're going. But it's like, we can't rest. We can't stop. We can't, we just have to keep moving. And, the thing is what does that come from? Because it's a consciousness, right? It's a consciousness of lack and scarcity. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough energy. We don't have enough whatever we need to in order to do the things that we want to do and we need to get done. But at the same time, we put so many things in a day that we have to we're creating a sense of lack because we're creating all these things to be done in one day. And we're encouraged to do that. And people who stop and rest, what about the people, when someone says, well, I meditate every day, you go like, you do? Where do you find the time to do that? Right? I mean, isn't that it's like, I remember years ago and they were like, 20 minutes, take 20 minutes and meditate. And people are like, I don't have 20 minutes to meditate. Why not? There's 24 hours in a day. Okay, take 20 minutes before you go to bed at night, or 20 minutes before you go to sleep, get up in the morning or whatever. But the thing is we take pride in multitasking. Stop and think about that. It's like, how much can we cram into this day? And then we wonder why we get sick. We wonder, and what does the doctor say when we get sick? First thing is always, oh yeah, here's the medicine, but rest. Go take this medicine and go home and get some rest. Why do we have to get sick to be told that we need to rest? And sometimes, people go like, well, I rest every day. How did they rest? Turning on the TV and watching something there. Watching a movie. I rested over the weekend. I binged watched. Whatever, okay? That's the new thing, right? Binge watching, it's like, and it's like, it's like, that's not resting. Because you're involved in, your mind is still going, isn't it? Your mind is doing something or another. And so that's not resting. We could turn off the TV and go for a walk. Walk? What? Walk? Well, it's cold outside. Oh, that's my excuse. It's too cold. In Georgia, in the summertime, what do we know? It's too hot, okay? So it's always to this or to that. There's always some excuse. When I was in California, I used to have several, which I'm sorry, I haven't found them here. So if you guys know of any retreats, let me know. But I had several retreat centers that I would go to, once or twice during the year and just spend the weekend, not talking to anybody, maybe take some books and reading, meditating, praying, walking around, because they always, retreat centers always have nice gardens and places you can walk. And so I would do all that kind of stuff, right? I went to a retreat here and it was a silent retreat. Now in California, when you have a silent retreat, you are silent. Nobody leads it. You get, you just do your own thing. But I went to this retreat. It was Catholic retreat, which, it's like, oh, well, it's a silent retreat. They had times when the priest was talking and then sent you off to meditate on something or pray about something or walk around something, but it's like, this isn't silent. Okay, silent is when you say, hello, welcome to our place. And don't talk to me except at mealtime when you let me know what you want to eat. That's silent, okay? And it's hard. It's hard. It really is. But at the same time, it's also very rewarding. It's amazing. And, the thing is I think that's part of the reason why so many people had so much problem with the pandemic, is they were required to rest. Hey, stay home. Now, some people like that. They were like, yes, I can stay home legally, okay? But there were others who were like, just jittery. I can't, what do you mean I can't go out? What do you mean I can't do this? What do you mean I can't go to the movies? How come I can't do blah, 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 blah? I just got to stay home. Now, that was a really good time to learn how to do what? Rest. Take a good nap in the afternoon. All right, get off of the computer. We have that culture that doesn't allow us to go within. And if we don't go within, we don't connect with the spirit within us. We are separate from that which actually gives us life. Stop and think about that. think about how we thank our mothers and our fathers for giving us life. Well, like, we worship, some people just absolutely worship their mother. You know, they do all kinds of wonderful things for her because she did all this stuff for them growing up. And, you know, she made a home, the father made a home. We just think they're just peachy keen, right? We just love them to death. They have given us life, and yet we will celebrate their birthdays, celebrate their deaths when they pass away. We will celebrate with them all kinds of things during their life, right? And yet we do not do that with that presence, that power that is in us and through us and as us, and gave us life before our parents. Our parents were God's vehicle for bringing us here. And so consequently, how about taking a day, a few minutes every day to just celebrate God bringing you here, giving you life? You would not have life without your parents, but without that which has given your parents life. Think about that. We can every single moment of every day walk around going, I am so thankful for the life that I'm living. I am so thankful that God is the very breath I breathe. Every time I take a breath, I can go, I am grateful. And guess what? We can rest in that, because it doesn't matter how far off we've been, we can always come back to it. It is always there. It is always available. It never ever leaves us. It never ever goes away. And it is with us always. This month we are reading this book too, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Edwin Gaines. And so today we're talking about the chapter 2. Oh, by the way, you have in your program this little list. Those of you who are online, you can go to the newsletter. I put this in the newsletter, and it is our schedule for what we're going to be reading, which chapters we're reading. And this week, March 20th, is chapter 4. And the chapter 4 is about why you must learn to set goals. Okay, next week it's going to be chapter 5, and this is chapter 6, 7, and so forth. So you can take this home with you, and so that you can schedule. You don't have to read the whole book at once, but I encourage you to read it, ahead of the service that we're having. And so today we're talking about goals. And one of the things that we did as children is we had imaginary friends. Do you remember that? We had, if you didn't have them, your children had it. Maybe you don't remember yours. If you didn't have an imaginary friend, you did play imaginary games. If you remember having tea set, girls, having a tea set and having the king and queen come to tea or whatever. British kids probably had the king and queen come. I don't know who I had come to dinner, but it was somebody beyond my immediate experience of family. Okay, it wasn't my mom and dad. Okay. And then my cousin had train set, right? And he had train set all over. His father fixed it. So, a good sized portion of the basement was taken up with his train set, right? And so his train set went all around to all these various countries and cities and whatever, right? He's playing his imagination. We all did that at some point in our time, in our life. We went through these imaginary things. And we continue to live in those imaginary worlds until our parents said, what? Now you have to be realistic. You have to be realistic. And what does realistic mean? Realistic means you are limited. You are never going to have the king and queen come to dinner or tea or anything else. The king and queen is in England. They're not coming here. Okay. You're not having the president come either. Okay. You're not having a congressman. You may not even get your minister to come to dinner, okay? So you have to be realistic. You can't have these things that you're imagining. And so we got rid of our imaginary friends, and we stopped doing our imagination. And yet, at the same time, have you gone to Netflix or Prime or any of those, Hulus or any of those things lately? Or even just your cable TV? Just go to the guide, start at the beginning, go click, 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 click through the channels. Every single channel has something on it. And it's like, I don't know, when I was growing up, we didn't have all that. In fact, we didn't have it until cable come along, right? In the 90s, I think it was, all right? And guess what? TV went off at midnight. Remember those red and blue, yellow bars, okay? The TV went off at midnight. Those of you who are too young for this, okay? TV went off at midnight because it was just basically your three, say, ABC, NBC, CBS. And, I think PBS eventually came in there. But basically, it was just these few channels. Now, you've got cable with 24-hour-a-day movies, binge movies because they're recorded, right? So you can binge stuff. You don't have to think of anything. You just keep clicking. I have clicked through those things and found absolutely nothing that interests me. Have you seen that? I mean, it's like they got a gazillion stations on there. A gazillion. And I'm like, click, 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 click. Nope, nope, click, click, nope, click, click, click. Nope, 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 nope. And you go through Netflix, same thing. Okay, it's like cable is one thing, and then now you go to Netflix or Prime or one of those others. It doesn't matter which one it is. They got this category and that category and this, and you click on one and say, well, and if you want something similar to this, right? I mean, it's like, I can't tell you how many times I've just turned off TV. Like, I'm not interested in any of this. But you know what? I was thinking this morning, each one of those represents somebody who did not lose their imagination. They did not lose their imagination. They continued to imagine. I think about Tyler Perry. I swear the man, I don't know where this man comes up with stuff, but he was doing, before he got to be real famous, he was doing plays, right? And he was putting out plays like bam, 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 bam. And they're all different. And it's like, how do you do this? Because he has an infinite possibility of imagination. And he knows how to access it and use it. And most of us have been told, be realistic. And so in our realism, we have gotten rid of all that imagination so that we can just do the things that our culture tells us to do. And in order to stick with your imagination, guess what you have to do? You have to withdraw. You have to find some reflection time. You have to find some time to rest and relax. You have to be open and available and let the Spirit be some guidance to you. So Ernest Holmes says, the silence means this, a contemplation in the quiet of the mind when the objective tumult, the objective out there, is stilled and we rise in our consciousness to the place of pure causation, which is spirit. So everything comes from spirit. You do not have an idea that did not originate in the spirit. You just can't, because that is your origins. So you cannot have an idea that does not come from spirit. And yet we get these ideas and then we add our realism to it and we go, I can't do that. It's going to take too much time or too much money, or I don't have the energy for that. I'm too tired. That's a good one. I'm too tired, right? Stop and think about that. Stop and think about that. We adults are being realistic, and yet we still have that place within us, that child place within us that has an imagination. And Edwene is saying, you have to connect with that. She says, just create some goals. What is it that you have wanted? So many of us don't even know what we want anymore because we've become so realistic. And being realistic means that you have to have the money, you have to have the energy, you have to have the resources, you have to have the connections, right? You have to have the business. Nobody says you have to have the imagination. My daughter's an entrepreneur, and I used to read a bunch of stuff around entrepreneurs because you start a church, you're starting a business too. I don't ever remember anything where they said, have an imagination. What do you imagine your business to be? I'll never, now, I could be wrong. There maybe I did not read the book because they got a lot of books, but I have not seen one that said, start with your imagination. What do you imagine your business to be? They all have, all this set of things of what you have to do, the connections you have to make, and the money you have to have, and who you can go to for venture capital and all this kind of stuff. But not one says, sit down, be real still, go within, and tap your imagination. What does the spirit within you want to do? The only place you'll find stuff like that is in Think and Grow Rich, or in books like this. And how many of us, we read these, then we put them down and we don't follow the thing. She has activities for you to do in there. One of the activities she has is to write your goals. And so I gave you this. She said she works with 6, but I gave you a little form with six things in here. You can turn it over and write 6 more or get an extra page or something like that. Okay. So her first law was tithing. And I put that on there on purpose because I want us to keep in mind. She suggested that you tithe for 6 months and see what happens and keep track of what's going on. Why does she start with tithing? I'm going to tell you because I know the answer. She starts with tithing because tithing teaches you to rely on God. It stretches you. And that's why she says start with 10%, because most of us are going, can I do 1%? Can I do 2%? We start bargaining with God. Can I just do 4%? No. She says do 10% because it stretches you, it pushes you, it makes you do something that forces you to go within and find that place within you that is giving you life. And Ernest Holmes is calling it causation. He wants you to go to that place of first cause, the place of spirit. She wants you to be able to say, God, I don't have enough money this month. I tithe. So you got to do something for me. That's what she wants you to do. And when do you do it? When you turn within and you reflect. When you find place of peace within yourself. You see, it all comes together. It all comes together. And, you can do it in a happy way, in a joyful way. You can do your tithe and go like, yes, I'm tithing. That is so wonderful. And I don't know where the rest of the money for the month is coming, but it's going to come somewhere. Right? And it does. Okay? You may not have money for next month when you tithe this month, but you have money for this month when you tithe this month. And next month will take care of itself. Jesus said what? Tomorrow will take care of itself. He didn't say exactly like that, but that was the idea, and you know it. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just worry about today. He says worry in the Bible, but I'm telling you, he doesn't mean worry like we mean worry. He means think about. Don't think about tomorrow, but think about only today. Do what you need to do today, okay? So that's what the tithing is about. Then the next goal is goal setting, because what you've done with tithing is you've opened up a space, right, to create something. And so if you do not decide what you want, the world will decide for you. Because every day you wake up, something happens. Okay? Something happens. If you get up and you say, I'm going to do this, and this, then guess what? You have a better chance of getting this, and this done. If you just wake up in the morning and go like, okay, Spirit, show me a way. Tell me what you want me to do. If you don't take time to just like be still for about an hour and listen, guess what? You may get something. If you're in the habit of doing that, you'll probably get something. But most of us aren't in the habit of doing that. Most of us, we start out going like, okay, I'm gonna let spirit guide my day. And by 4 o'clock, if it takes that long, we are back on the track of whatever it is we've been doing in the past. Do you see? So she's saying, write your goals. And so I've given you this. You can write 6 goals. And then she says to do what? She says, write an affirmation to go with it. So, was it Gloria a couple weeks ago told us about how she got her Mustang? Okay. So if she was writing this, she would write, I have a brand new Mustang. Okay. By December 2022. Because you want to put a date in there. Okay. And then the affirmation. I am driving my brand new Mustang and enjoying myself fully and completely everywhere I go. Whatever. Nothing negative, only positives. And if you can use feeling words, like I am enjoying driving my new car, that is even better than your affirmations. Okay? She has like 7 steps, so you have to read the book because I'm not giving you all of them. The reason I'm not giving you all of them because I want you to read the book, okay? And I want you to do what it tells you to do. So for the next 2 months, just for March and April, now tithing is 6 months, okay? But the book is 2 months. So for this 2 months, go along with us and read and do what she suggests to do and see what happens if it's working for you. Because this is the science of mind. And science means that you try out things, you do things, you participate in some way. It's wonderful to have you come to church on Sunday. I love having you here. But if your life is not changing, stay home. I'm serious. Stay home. It's, your life should be changing. That's what this philosophy is about. That's what this teaching is about. You should be having the life that you love and you enjoy and that you are experiencing day by day. And you should be coming to church on Sunday to reinforce, I'm on the right track. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And if you're not getting something, but you can't just come to church on Sunday. You have to do stuff in between. You have to find time to take some rest. Rest you don't have to take 20 minutes of rest. You can sit at the stoplight. They're almost always at least 2 minutes, right? When you get there, just sit there, open your eyes, focus on something, and breathe. Let's see, don't you feel relaxed? Don't you feel more rested? And we only breathe 3 times. What happens if you do that for 2 minutes? And then if you add to that the gratitude that we did last month, I am grateful that I have the breath I have. I'm grateful the spirit of life is within me. I'm grateful that God loves me and breathes through me every day. And then put your car in gear and go on. That's all it takes. It doesn't, put a little note in your car that says, don't forget to breathe. Okay? You watches now. Okay? On my watch it says, do you want to set it so that you breathe every hour? Yes, it does. It does. And then what it does, you hit the thing, right? 3 minutes, or no, 1 minute. You can set it for 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes. Okay? So 1 minute. And the little thing goes. So you go in and out. It tells you when to go in and out. I cannot tell you can you imagine? People have to be told how to breathe. something we knew how to do when we were babies. They slapped us on the bottom and said, breathe, and we went, right? And now we are adults. We're 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, and we have to have a watch that tells us, breathe. Okay? And not only does it tell you to breathe, it tells you in and out. Okay? I just stop and think about how ridiculous that is. Think about the culture that we have created that requires us to have a watch that tells you how to breathe. An app. It's an app, okay? Because you can have it on your phone. Then you have the water one too, you know. Drink some water every hour. You have, and then the exercise ones. You know, I just like, come on, people. And we also have all the meditation apps. You can get a 3-minute, 1 minute, or 2-hour meditation app. Okay? It's all there. It's sort of like, here's this consciousness, we are the collective consciousness of oneness is pushing through our culture of hustle, allowing us and encouraging us to start doing what we should be doing all along. And it's great that they have all this stuff, but you have to have the consciousness to use it. Remember when they were doing, what do you call those things? Aromatherapy, okay? You know, some people go like, oh, that was such a wonderful massage. And she did such a great job with the aromatherapy. I just so enjoyed myself. And then other people went like, what was that? Okay, it's like, did you smell something? I didn't smell something. Did you spray something in the room? And so anyway, I was like, why is it that some people get this magnificent experience from aromatherapy and others like nothing? And so I don't know, Carolyn Mace or somebody, I did something I saw on some video or class, or anyway, she said, it's your consciousness. If you don't have a consciousness for whatever that aromatherapy is supposed to be opening up for you, then you're not going to experience it. And that's why some people, it's like, you know, you put, or, you know, it's supposed to help you relax, and you like lavender. A lot of people like lavender because it's supposed to, and does it help you go to sleep? Doesn't help me go to sleep. Maybe it helps other people go to sleep, but I use other stuff to go to sleep. So the thing is we have to find what works for us, right? But here we have a culture that it's all this stuff is trying to come to the surface, and it's there for those of us who don't have the consciousness yet. Okay, so write your goals this week and try to write at least 6. But listen, don't just go like, well, I have been wanting this car, so I'm going to tithe and see if I can get this car. No, that's not how it works. Get quiet, be still. The silence means the contemplation in the quiet of the mind when objective outer tumult is temporarily is not going to go away. You'll get it back. Temporarily stilled, and we rise in our consciousness to that place of pure causation, which is spirit. So it's like going within and ask yourself, what is it that my heart desires? And your heart is where spirit is. What is it that I truly, truly desire in my heart? Because you see, that's where your feeling is too. You will not get this if you just think, oh, I think I want a new car. I think I want a new house. If you just think it, it's not happening. Think about this. You know, we've all seen pictures of factories, right? And they have all kinds of stuff on the factory line. You know, some people do this part, some people do this part, some people do this, right? And every once in a while, thing breaks down, it stops, right? Nothing happens. People just stand there. There's nothing that can happen. when the factory line, when the whatever is going on stops, that's the thinking. That's like our thinking. It's sitting right there, okay? But nothing's moving. What's going to move it? The power is going to move it. They have to plug in the electricity and get the power moving. And what is your power? Your power is your energy, your feeling energy. So you have to add feeling to it. You can't just think, say, I think I want a new car. You have to feel it. Remember what Gloria said? She said, I wanted this Mustang. And then she got in the car, right? She rented the car. She had Ken rent the car for her for the weekend. And she felt how it felt to be in this new car. She rented the one she wanted. So you may not be able to just do that, but this is where the imagination comes in. You have to imagine that you already have what you want. And your imagination, your feeling, adds to the thought and creates. And you have to know that the creation comes from God just like you. And you don't get to know how it happens. It happens because God knows how to make it happen, and you don't. Okay? So in amongst your goals, at least put one or two that you know you're going to have to stretch. Not stuff that say, well, I was planning to get this new car in July anyway, so I'll just put that down. No. Don't put that down. Put something down that you have to stretch to get, that you have to use your imagination. Like she said, prove me now a blessing from the Bible. So prove this. Use this to prove yourself something. Maybe it's something about your health. Maybe it's something about, your home. Maybe it's something about your relationships. Whatever. Decide something that's going to force you to use what it is that we're talking about for the next 2 months so that you can have something that you desire to have in your life. Okay? Then in May, you get to stand up here and tell us about it. Okay? All right. Our imagination allows us to dream the world that we want to live in. We withdraw from our everyday world and live in the imagination. When you get busy flipping through the channels and you can't find something, turn it off and close your eyes and make up your own movie. Imagine the life that you want to be living, okay? Because those people are living the life they want to live. They've got their movie on TV, okay? All right, some of them, they've been waiting. I think Halle Berry was on. She just has a new movie that she worked on or something. Anyway, she said she's had this movie for 20 years and she couldn't get anybody to agree to fund it. 20 years. And, others have waited as long. Okay, so I'm not suggesting you put down something that you have to wait 20 years for. Okay? But at the same time, keep in mind that it might take you 20 years to get what it is that you want, if there's something that you truly want, and it takes time, because what has to happen, you may need to grow into it. Halle Berry had this movie, and maybe the culture had to grow into the ability to see that this movie, what the movie's about, making money. So, to see that this movie could actually make money. All right, so if you don't have your book, get your book, start from the beginning and read. And then for next week, read chapter 5. Okay? Let's close our eyes and turn within. And so we just take a moment to turn within, to be with that presence of life that is the very source of who we are. To know in this moment that all is well. No matter what our experience, no matter what is going on in our outer world, there is that place within us where all is well, where we feel and sense and know an inner peace that allows us to connect with that indwelling presence, power, and life that has given us life. The very breath that we breathe every moment is a reminder that life is within us, moving through us, and acting as us in every moment of every day. And as we turn away from the outer experience of limitation and allow ourselves to live in that realm of inner causation, then we are fully and completely present with the spirit of life itself. And here we can speak our word and know the truth of who we are. Here we can choose to have our imagination absolutely run wild and create for us the experiences in our outer life that we truly desire. And I'm speaking my word and knowing in this moment that there is within each and every one of us a knowingness of what it is we desire and a willingness to do what it takes in order to experience that which we desire. For the spirit of life itself is all on board with allowing us to have, to experience, and to enjoy the life that we choose. And so we just simply bask in the gratitude of knowing that it is already done. It is already there. The blueprint is there, and we simply need to rest in the knowingness that it is done. And so we are grateful that it is done, that this is the way the process works, and that we individually and collectively can experience it just simply by turning it within, being still, and setting forth the causation that says, this is who I am, this is what I am, and this is my desire. And so in gratitude and thanksgiving for this and so much more, I know each one of us is lifted up as a result of knowing this truth. And we experience it as we act through it and as it each and every day, this week and every day. And so we are blessed, and we give thanks for that blessing. We are the grace that God is expressing in the world. And so it is not just our joy, but the joy that we give to others as a result of our being the very best that we can possibly be. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you. Great message. We have a new soundboard, and I just want to take a minute here and make sure our levels are right, okay? Is that too loud out there, guys? Not too loud? No? Okay, we got a song for you by Ricky Byers. You're going to want to jump up and clap your hands.
So go ahead and get up.
And sing along with us,
Put your
okay?
hands together.
Yeah. Remember, universe says yes.
Okay, sure it goes.
Without him, we're good.
Very good. You're going to have to clap your hands out there, okay? Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Yes, it is. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh.
I used to think that I had to. I used to think that I should. Scripture told me that I had to be good. Now I love because I want to. I love because I am free.
with all my heart. God is my all in all. I let go of my burden. Loving God has made me free. Blinded by the Spirit. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. Spirit of God is upon me. Yes, it is. Spirit of God upon me. Spirit of God is upon me. Spirit of God is upon me. My duty, I thought it was my job. Somewhere I believed loving God would be so hard. Loving God is a wonderful, loving God is ecstasy. I thank God for my freedom. I tell you now, the Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. God is upon me. Yes, yes it is. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Upon me. Shine down on me. Spirit of God. Spirit of God is upon me. Africa. South America. God is upon me. In America. In the Ukraine, please let the Russians see. Oh, Spirit of God, oh, Spirit of God, I said, oh. Well, I felt that, Sherry. I felt that. All right, all right.
Hey, all right, all right. Okay.
Did you feel the Spirit?
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Did you feel the Spirit? Yes. Okay, so let's see here. In your program is our conscious giving affirmation. Please join with me. Freely I give with a feeling of abundance, knowing that my gift blesses others and myself as well.
I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I'm so grateful. I am so blessed.
Okay, and the Thanksgiving affirmation. I am grateful for the divine givingness circulating abundantly through my life, our community, and our world. You might feel free to use those affirmations at home too, when you do your tithing or when you're giving someplace. Okay, so
There's the drums.
there's the drums. They are here. We do it. We have drums. We do have drums sometimes. Okay, so anyway, we have a new soundboard. Thank you to Cynthia. Yes,
And when we learn how to work it, it'll be a whole
that's all right. That comes with time. Sometimes you have to have something and practice on it before you can,
Exactly.
Yep. Anyway, so welcome everybody. Thank you all so much for being here today. I certainly appreciate it. And I'm looking around here. And Mike, you need some male friends.
Yeah.
So don't you guys know some men? All these women in here? Somebody think it's a women's church. Except there's guys online. Chris is not here today because he's not feeling well, but there are some guys online. So I want you to know, and Ken, yeah, Ken's not here today, but he is doing better. He came through the surgery fine, and we get to Gloria because she was supposed to call me. But, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So Abe's in Florida taking care of his father. Yeah. In and out, yeah. That's what prayer is for. Okay, so stop the juggling. Take a time every day to imagine what it is you desire. Write it down, okay? And you and Abe sit together and envision it, even if it's only for 5 minutes a day. Just sit down and envision what it is you want. Because see, this is the same thing. It happens to all of us. We get involved with whatever the circumstances are, and then we are spending our time with that as opposed to imagining what it is we want. We're not spending time with what we desire. So you're building a house. So see that house completed. See yourself walking through the house and enjoying it, and and you make a movie in your own mind, okay, of what it is that what you want, okay? My first minister, my first religious science minister, he said, well, actually, he's the only one really. What he had us to do was to close your eyes and envision a play on a stage. Open the curtain, and then your life. You saw your life before you, okay? So however it works, that was in the old days when they had plays. Now you can just make a movie out of it. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing that with us about Ken. And yeah, and so the journals are here, so please do. Those of you who are online, you can go to your newsletter, because somebody said they didn't know how to get one. Go to the newsletter, and in there's a link to get your journal. If you are not getting our newsletter, then put your name in the chat, and we'll put you with your email, and we'll add you to our email. Anything else? And Ronnie is sending out invitations to Breeze. Be sure and when you get your invitation, use that link to create your Breeze account, because it's something that we're actually making it easy for you to keep track of your tithing. Okay, all right. And other things that are going on. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yes. See, you are getting, we are tracking you. Okay, all right. You're not opening the emails. Are they coming from CSL? Okay. Okay. Yeah, they're coming from Breeze. So when you, search, put Breeze in the search bar, okay? You might also find that they've gone to your spam, trash, or whatever junk file you have. So check there too. And if you're still not getting it, email us at cslwga@gmail.com. See? Right, so you have to open the email. Yeah, you have to open the email. Yeah. Yes, there you go. Knocking until be open. Okay, Marsha's going, I haven't got an email. So anyway, some of them we just send them out again. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay. I think that, yeah, because we're reversing that this month because, I want to encourage you, when you watch the war news, because I know you can't get away from it these days, when you watch it, close your eyes and bless everybody there, and know that the truth, that everybody who wants a home is having a home, and that peace is happening, that we see it and we know it and we imagine it, and then therefore it must express itself. So that's our way of participating in that. And so we're singing the peace song, at the end instead of at the, ordinarily, where it used to be. At the end of the service, okay? I think that's all. Am I thinking of anything? Am I forgetting something? I'm feeling like I'm forgetting
We're going to do
something.
the closing affirmation.
We're going to do
and
the
then
closing, the
song.
affirmation, and then the song. But I'm thinking something else I'm forgetting.
okay.
Anyway, I'll tell these people here, and if you're still online, I'll tell you. Okay, all right. So the closing affirmation is, we go forth today knowing that we are God's blessing in the world. Only good goes from us, and only good comes to us, and so it is. Okay.
All right. And welcome everybody online on Facebook, on
Streaming.
YouTube, and welcome. And after the service, if you want to pop up and say hello, we'll be here. All right, we got.
Let's stand. And so it is. Yes. All right. Thank you, Sherry, for being here to us. with
Thank you,
us.
Sherry.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Now go tell some jokes.
Okay.
You missed your college. You should be in stand-up. Okay, are the people online going to pop up or not? Not? Yes? No? Okay.
Okay, let's see.